It appears that there is an increasing frequency of extreme meteorological events globally, with hurricanes, wildfires, and earthquakes becoming more prevalent on an annual basis. One might be forgiven for assuming that the most severe natural disaster to have befallen North America in the past 300 years is a distant memory. However, there is a possibility that such a catastrophe could occur as early as 2024. This is not a baseless hypothesis or a scenario contrived for the purposes of a disaster film. It is a phenomenon that has been the subject of quiet scientific investigation by experts, including those at NASA, for a number of years. Such developments have prompted considerable concern among prominent figures such as Elon Musk. However, a significant issue arises. There is a paucity of discourse surrounding this topic. While governments and agencies are focused on global conflicts, climate change, and technological advancements, an impending disaster is developing beneath our feet. While the general public is preoccupied with the immediate concerns of the day, Elon Musk is attempting to draw attention to a significantly more pressing issue that has the potential to alter the landscape of America permanently. The question thus arises as to the precise nature of this disaster. Musk, who has previously issued warnings about critical threats, is citing data from NASA indicating that a mega-earthquake is likely to occur in North America. Scientists have indicated that this earthquake could be of such magnitude that it may cause the kind of destruction that has never been witnessed in our lifetime. It could be a disaster that dwarfs anything that has occurred in 300 years. The most alarming aspect of this is that it could happen as soon as 2024. Let us briefly return to the beginning of the discussion. It is beyond dispute that the United States has suffered a number of significant natural disasters over the years. Recall the wildfires that devastated California in 2020. The atmosphere was transformed into a crimson hue, entire settlements were obliterated, and innumerable residences were destroyed. In the same year, hurricanes such as Laura caused extensive damage across the Gulf Coast, leaving communities severely disrupted. Furthermore, the global pandemic that began in 2020, which caused significant disruption worldwide, is another event that is likely to be remembered. It appeared as though one disaster was occurring with alarming frequency. One might be forgiven for questioning whether these events were isolated incidents. One might posit that these events constitute part of a larger, more dangerous pattern. Elon Musk posits that this is the case, a view that is corroborated by the data. According to NASA, the frequency of natural disasters is increasing, and this trend is expected to continue. NASA has been engaged in the study of a number of factors that contribute to the changing climate of the Earth, including the shifting tectonic plates beneath our feet and the weakening of the planet's magnetic field. The results are alarming. The number of climate-related disasters in the last 20 years has more than doubled compared to previous decades. There has been a notable increase in the frequency and intensity of earthquakes, hurricanes, wildfires, and floods. These observations suggest that there are underlying changes occurring in the Earth's crust, and it is becoming evident that the planet is sending us a message. The issue is that we are failing to devote sufficient attention to the matter in question. This is precisely the point of contention between Elon Musk and other parties. He posits that if the warning signs are ignored, a significant seismic event, which scientists believe is imminent, will catch us unprepared. The underlying cause of this phenomenon can be attributed to the San Andreas Fault, one of the most seismically active fault lines on the planet, has gained a reputation for being one of the most dangerous fault lines on the planet. As any student of the San Andreas Fault will be aware, it is notorious for causing earthquakes in California. However, the predicted occurrence in 2024 is of a significantly greater magnitude. Such an event will not be a typical earthquake. The predictions made by scientists, including those at NASA, indicate that a megaquake may occur, with the potential for a magnitude of 10.0 or above. This would represent a seismic event of a scale that humanity has never previously experienced. In order to contextualize the recent seismic activity, it is pertinent to note that the 1906 earthquake that struck San Francisco, causing extensive damage and destruction, had a magnitude of 7.9 on the Richter scale. The earthquake, which occurred over a century ago, was of such magnitude that it resulted in significant alterations to the landscape and the destruction of over 80% of the city. A considerable number of lives were lost. It is therefore evident that a 10.0 magnitude earthquake would be exponentially more powerful. Such an event could result in extensive devastation, potentially leading to the collapse of entire regions. This raises the question of why scientists and Elon Musk are so concerned about the possibility of an earthquake in 2024. The San Andreas Fault has been accumulating pressure over centuries, and it is necessary for this accumulated energy to be released. The movement of tectonic plates generates energy. Furthermore, the grinding of two tectonic plates, such as the North American plate and the Pacific plate, against each other results in the generation of seismic tension. The accumulated tension has been growing for hundreds of years and will eventually result in a catastrophic event. Elon Musk's assertions are not mere speculation. The data indicate a genuine threat. Indeed, NASA and other scientific institutions have been studying the San Andreas Fault for years, analyzing its behavior and tracking patterns in seismic activity. The evidence is clear. California is due for a major earthquake, and the resulting devastation will extend beyond the state's borders. A magnitude 10.0 earthquake would result in extensive damage across the entire western United States. It is inevitable that buildings will collapse. The infrastructure of the region would be severely compromised, with major damage to the road network. In the event of such an earthquake, fires would ignite across the region, spreading out of control as emergency services are overwhelmed. The failure of power grids and the destruction of critical infrastructure could result in the complete loss of electricity in entire cities, leading to a prolonged period of darkness and disruption. This is merely the beginning. The aftershocks of an earthquake of such magnitude would persist for a considerable duration. Such tremors could persist for days or even weeks, with the potential to cause further damage. In the aftermath of the initial seismic event, a series of secondary disasters may ensue, including fires, landslides, and even tsunamis, which could have a cascading impact across the country. One might also inquire as to the efficacy of early warning systems. One might inquire whether technology exists to predict and prepare for earthquakes. Indeed, such systems do exist, but according to Elon, they are not yet sufficiently advanced. Although California has early warning systems that can provide a few seconds of advance notice before an earthquake occurs, Elon believes that this is insufficient time for people to evacuate or take shelter. Musk has been vocal about the necessity for enhanced infrastructure and technology to withstand a disaster of this magnitude. He has repeatedly asserted that the United States infrastructure is outdated and not constructed to withstand a megaquake. While some improvements have been made over the years, a magnitude 10.0 earthquake would be unprecedented for the systems in place. Elon has even proposed a reconsideration of the manner in which urban settlements are constructed. He has advocated for the implementation of earthquake-resistant structures, more sophisticated seismic monitoring systems, and even subterranean transportation networks that could serve to safeguard the populace during natural disasters. However, it is important to recognize that the realization of these solutions is contingent upon a considerable investment of time. Consequently, in the event of an earthquake occurring in 2024, there is a distinct possibility that the necessary resources may not be available. The ramifications of this calamity extend far beyond the boundaries of California. A magnitude 10.0 earthquake would have ramifications that extend beyond the West Coast. The economic consequences would be transmitted throughout the country and potentially even beyond its borders. Such an event would inevitably result in significant disruption to supply chains, the potential closure of industrial facilities, and the displacement of millions of individuals. The financial cost would be considerable, with estimates suggesting a figure in excess of hundreds of billions of dollars. Elon Musk has made it clear that this is not a drill. This is a tangible, scientifically substantiated threat, and he asserts that immediate action is required to mitigate the potential damage. However, as has been demonstrated on numerous occasions, the issuance of warnings concerning potential disasters is frequently disregarded until it is too late to take action. One need only consider the wildfires, the hurricanes, and the pandemics to recognize that warning signs have been present in the past, yet the response has not been sufficiently prompt to prevent catastrophe. The question that must be addressed is whether we will be adequately prepared when the next major disaster occurs, or whether we will be forced to react in haste and chaos. Elon Musk is urging immediate action, calling on governments, scientists, and the general public to acknowledge the gravity of the situation, invest in enhanced infrastructure, develop more sophisticated technologies, and begin preparations for what could be the most significant natural disaster in American history. In the event of a rupture along the San Andreas Fault, the consequences for life in North America could be profound and irreversible. In the event that we are not adequately prepared, the consequences could be catastrophic. However, it is important to note that there is still an opportunity to prepare. There is still an opportunity to implement measures to enhance our systems and safeguard ourselves. However, this window of opportunity is rapidly closing. Mr. Musk is doing so because he believes that improvements can and should be made. He is advocating for innovation and but whether we will be prepared when it occurs. If there is one lesson to be learned from Elon Musk's warnings, it is that the time to act is now.